G'day YouTubers, Steve from Vintage Restorations Australia here. Today we're going to do an examination of the chassis for our Land Rover 2A electric conversion project and see where we go with it. So here we are back on day 3, having a look at this chassis. During the last week or two we've had a bit of a think about it, and John's costed out the cost of replacing this section, the H section. We can get a replacement part for it. It's about £200 plus probably about the same in shipping. So it's kind of quite an expensive repair. And there's a bit of an issue with this ripple here. What did you find out about that, John?
The site that I went to and had a look said anything destroyed from that portion in this direction, basically they abandoned the chassis.
Right.
It's a fair bit of work to get it correctly jigged up. The crease is in 3 sides at least. There must be a little bit of a buckle in the bottom. So yeah, the spring hanger hangs here. There's a crack in the steel where the weld is, a lot of buckling. And when you take that and come over to here, you can see that there's a bulge in the top here, and the whole front of the car has been jacked up a bit, and this has been squeezed in. There's a dent and pressure here pushing that up, buckling it. Should be flat. If you look across the car, you can see this outrigger's hanging down. It's been attached on, second weld. There's a factory weld up there, there's the second weld up there. It's been attached on. It's had some rust as well. There's a thin bit of steel plate welded on here.
Oh, and this is where I cut it off to get the firewall
You can
off.
see the edge of the steel plate, which doesn't exist on a factory job.
Examining these rear hangers, outriggers, they're kind of been tonked as well. They're not a difficult repair. We could heat them up and tonk them back out. So basically we could think about repairing this. It's not ideal, coming back past here. We're not going to get a good outcome. So fortunately this week we got donated a second car which appears to have a reasonable chassis, and we'll have a look at that car and see what we think. So we've got a second Land Rover here. The chassis is a little bit dodgy on the other one, and we've been given this vehicle this week, so we're actually thinking it might be cheaper and easier to swap out the chassis of this one, which is good and, well, relatively straight and pretty rust free. But we're going to have a look at it and see what comes of that. What do you think, John?
It's looking a lot better than the other chassis, which wouldn't be difficult. I mean, you got superficial rust up here, which you always get, but this bit here is rust.
Yeah. Can it be just pad welded or something?
Probably can, but you know, it's a sign of what's under there.
Yeah. Well, they rot from the inside out, so. So the firewall looks pretty crusty on this one.
Does it?
Yeah.
It looks good on the inside, the other side.
He doesn't know what.
I thought mine was overheated.
So I think as a donor chassis, it looks a better chassis. And we've got enough panels and the other bits and pieces, so.
Another non-standard air filter.
No, we can't work with this. Non-standard.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's all going. What bit did you miss about electric motor, Simon?
You've got to keep this one.
Yeah, there you go. There's another one.
And so it begins again. They're all pretty solid, John?
Yep, bounces, makes a nice noise. Looks rusty, but it's only on the surface.
A nice noise.
Nice noise. As opposed to this area here. See you.
Bit crusty there, John.
Yeah, that bit's not so good. That's part of the chassis too. So.
New rear cross member.
Yeah.
Good at wrecking that.
So that you can have a PCO knob and an overdrive knob on them.
Yeah, and a 1, 2, 3, 4 knob and a high-low knob.
Yeah, and a handbrake knob on mine. My handbrake's more knobby than this one.
What a knob.
But look at that. Hidden under the floor. Imagine what we could run off that, John. Electric wood chipper.
Cement mixer.
Concrete cake mixer.
Oh, big cakes. Pizza dough.
So we've got this half stripped. It's about lunchtime. A little bit more to get off. Oh, that's out.
I think it's free, Steve.
3. Just there looks good. Never be able to close the doors, but that's okay.
It's an interesting looking meltdown, John.
Yeah, battery's probably melted, gone, and then there would have been battery acid over the whole lot, which is just why all the paint's gone. Why it looks a little bit weird.
It's significantly better than the other chassis though.
Yeah.
It's straight, hasn't been stacked. There's a bit of corrosion here and there like that.
Oh, yeah, that'll...
That's alright, gives us an opportunity to blot out the guts of it.
This bit's thin, you can see it moving when it hit. But that looks okay. Making good noises.
I think that's not bad.
Yep, that's sweet.
Big improvement on the other one. So just need to get the...
We'll probably cut these front panels off anyway, and that gives us ability to blast something up the middle of the chassis.
Yeah.
I reckon that'll be good.
The firewall's probably, the other firewall's probably better than this one.
Yeah.
Hard to say. If we get it off, we'll have a look at it.
It's unusually good around the brake cylinder area, because that's usually full of crap and rusts right out, but that's solid.
We're going to need those. So
I'm impressed.
we might take those off for
Yeah.
whichever firewall we use. Not bad up the top there. It's a bit crusty over here. Oh, this is munted over here. Here we are at the end of day 3, and we've kind of taken a backward step a little bit. We've had to dig this chassis out because the one out there has proved to be a bit too beat up. So we've cracked on today and got the bodywork off this. Had a good look at this chassis and it's all pretty good. There's a few little repairs and maybe the rear cross member needs to be replaced, but apart from that it's quite good. So I guess day 4 we'll be removing the firewall and this engine and stuff. We'll probably leave all the running gear on and push it outside and pressure blast it and maybe cut off that cross member and weld a new one on. Anyway, it was reasonably good progress despite going backwards. That's it for today, folks. Tune in for the next episode when we continue the progress. If you're interested in any of the parts that we're removing, such as the fuel system and the engines, contact us and we'll see what we can do for you. See you next time.